What's up, everybody? We are back. We are back with another split of Collegiate Valorant. CVAL West back in action. Daniel Jobin, Adam Scholes. Man, so excited to be back. We've got some great matches to cover.
I can't hear anything through Phoenix right now, but yes, welcome into the bracket. Hopefully, everyone is enjoying this. So this is going to be a fun time here on the show, and going into the West here, we are going to have some interesting stuff go on here, and of course, by my side with
I can
Jobin
hear
once
you.
again.
Sorry,
This will be
you're muted or
fun
something
time
like that.
for
I can
us.
hear you. Sorry.
And hear my co-caster.
Adam,
This is the
I can't
fun
hear.
part.
I can hear Adam through VMix on a delay. So something
Oh, you
is
can hear me, so we don't know what's going on.
very quick break and trying to fix this stuff up because
Oh, there we go. We're good now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear my co-caster. Welcome to the CVAL West.
Well, that was perfect.
That was a great opening. You can't
That
script
was
that.
perfect. I promise we said good stuff.
Yeah, I think Joe said nice things about me. I said nice things about him, so that's all I know.
All right. The fourth wall has been broken. We had the Deadpool moment. CVAL West is back. Daniel Jobin, Adam Scholes in the most scuffed intro imaginable. Listen, it's the first game of the split. It's going to take us a little bit to get back into things. I just had to run a nice little anime event near my school as well. So there's a lot going on today. But we're here. We have fantastic matches, and we are ready to break things down.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic tournament here, especially with a lot of the favorites removed from the pool. And that's something that we're going to see when we open up this bracket as well. It's their last chance to qualify for nationals. This is the last stand for a lot of these teams. And we'll have to take into account those points as they come around. But as you can see from this bracket, a lot of teams that we've seen before in UBC, UCSD Gold, and a UCR team, granted, neither UCSD Gold or UCR Gold can qualify for nationals because they have other teams from their schools qualifying. So realistically, there are 5 teams here fighting for 2 spots as well as some of those points.
Yeah, those damn demigods, man, messing it all up for those UCSD teams. And yeah, the West is definitely the most interesting region. It's been very, very competitive. We've been seeing a lot of these top seeds kind of fall off here and there. It's been a bit of a mixed bag, especially as we've gotten deeper and deeper. Like you mentioned, 5 teams fighting for 2 spots. Not exactly the way we thought CVAL was going to play out, but nonetheless, we have been getting some very good matches. And I mean, now we got teams today like CPP Black, right? They had to fight off UCSD Gold in round 1 of the last split. Then they had to fight off, I believe it was USC Cardinal in that last split. So there's a couple teams here that are dying to get to one of those top 2 spots.
Yeah, and CPP Black this time around sort of fulfilling the winner's curse that we've had. Of course, unfortunately, we don't have any fun facts for them. So, of course, they had to take down the demigods actually to get here. Of course, they did end up fighting the gods as well themselves. They had to fight Zeus and Hephaestus in like a 1v1 match. They were boxing and everything. CPP Bronco boxing is available on some streaming service that is not our channel, unfortunately. You can it's pay-per-view somewhere. And of course, CPP Black Bronco Esports, they like to ride horses while they play the game, so they've actually got PC setups on their horses, and that's how they play, and that's why they that's how they made it. Yeah.
What's the professional horse riding? Equestrian?
Yeah, they're equestrians. Is that the word for it?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
If you say it confidently enough, it becomes the word. So CPP, very, very, very entertaining team, and like we said, honestly, I mean, to be fair, you have to beat who's in front of you. So if you lost a game, maybe you didn't deserve to win it. But to play USC Cardinal and then to play the UCSD Gold, your first 2 rounds, not the best draw, but they're back in this top 8 situation. They are feeling good about things. And I actually think we do have an interview with CPP Black's Mikey.
So hi, I'm Michael. I go by Mikey. We're the Cal Poly Pomona varsity Valorant team. We've been competing for a little while, but I think this will be our last semester here. With just like the nature of how college Valorant is, rosters get changed a lot. We have at least 3 to 4 new players this roster. We've had more prep time and more time to just build chemistry and build strategies around our playstyles. Every single one of our players has that ability to get a star round and pull around from basically nothing. We hold basically everybody accountable for their mistakes, and we tend to fix them quickly. We don't really want to repeat the same mistake again twice. Considering this is the first time we made top 8 and we did knock out demigods, I think people will start looking at us more as a threat. I don't think we feel too much pressure. I think all the teams in the top 8 are great, but one team that we are a little weary of is UCSC. We think they have like a really strong roster, and they've proved it. That's the team we're most wary of. First, making top 8 was a really big moment for all of us, because we haven't really gotten here before, especially me. This is my first semester here playing, and we went to go get food after, and we just had like a fun time. But I'd say top 8 was really good for us. I just want to say good luck to everybody, and let's have some fun competing.
Yeah, and good stuff overall from the side of CPP Black. Just getting to hear that, they know how futile collegiate can be. It isn't a permanent stay for a lot of these players. Some of these players can move up, move down. We saw that especially in the South with C9 Jake getting that call up from the collegiate level. So, there's always that potential for some of these players to just get their last chance and they don't know it yet. Really nice to hear from Mikey just sort of taking everything into perspective.
Might be the most humble Valorant player I've ever heard speak in an interview. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, very well spoken. Just stated the facts, and that's how it went from there. But of course, on the opposite side is SFU Flamingo. This team has been honestly one of the biggest thorns in a lot of these other teams' sides. But of course, they don't take themselves too seriously either, as you can see from their
Look at
fun
that.
facts. These are hilarious.
These are fun facts. Let me look at filters, 3D glasses. These guys are absolutely all over the place. I mean, Stu's just up in the camera, boaster style to the monitor. You can see all those facts. And like you said, they've been a thorn in a lot of teams' side. They've been kind of like a dark horse in a sense. Not necessarily that they're like underdogs or people don't realize they're a good team, but they just knock off great team after great team. They obviously do it in their own way. So it's just one of those very, very fun, very unique teams, and always good to see them make this top 8.
Yeah, and I think especially with this team, they were really close to qualifying a couple of times. They lost to UCSC Gold in the fall in the round of 32. They actually beat U Alberta, but lost to eventual champions Demigods in the round of 16 in the winter as well. So there's a lot of teams that they had to go up against that were really challenging for them. This time around, though, they took down the fall champions SJSU Blue to make sure that winner's curse stays alive. You win the tournament, you don't qualify for the next one. You aren't allowed into the exclusive club. And of course, it's the Canadian charisma that they have. Having the interview with Juka as well as with Kane, they don't take themselves too seriously. But of course, Kane is one of those players that we have to watch in a lot of ways. Played for 07 as a representative for Canada in Red Bull Campus Clutch down in Brazil, as well. Had some games on Team Shift in T2 qualifiers as well for VCL. Made top 16 as well. So this is a very talented player who has a lot of experience. And we actually got to take a look into Kane's story as well as describe a little bit more about SFU Flamingo.
My name is Nathan Lee. I go under the alias Kane. For myself, I've been playing CSGO since I was 14, and then that helped me transition to VAL when it first came out, and I've been playing ever since, so that's like a little background on myself. I'd say the primary change that the whole team made was like trusting me to IGL and be able to lead our team. I joined them in winter, and we played the CVAL there with like very limited practice, maybe like a week or two, hence like a top 16 finish. I believe that we're doing better in spring because my teammates are just trusting me to call for them and help lead the team. And I give credits to my teammates for like their ability to change play styles and work around my style of calling. I also believe that we haven't really reached our ceiling yet because we've been practicing for only like around a month, and I believe that all the other collegiate teams have been practicing for quite a while now, and the rosters have been established. So I do think there's still plenty of room for improvement in all aspects of the game. So in comparison with like the other teams in the country, I do firmly believe that like we're one of the top teams. I wouldn't say we're anywhere near the best because, as I said, there's always improvements to be made daily. So we're slowly trying to be the best, but I don't think we're the best yet. I just like the hardworking mentality. And as comparison to other teams like around the country, I feel like the East teams don't really know the strength of our team as a whole, because we rarely get to play matches against one another, but I think that's just a region difference. So time will tell and results will tell, so we'll just leave it to that. So there's one like personal request. Kaho wants to shout out New Jeans Minji. That's one right there. Please give us a chance to win. I think we really need the prize money for our scholarships to represent our school.
Oh, always great to hear from Kane. They're funny to hear, the bit about the scholarship. And I will say one thing I like. I don't hear that many teams, have, smack talk regionally. Usually we see it within certain brackets, but to hear him call out those East Coast teams, say, the West has something for you. Always like to hear that, especially a team, like he said, they're very, very unique. They're having a fun time playing this game, and they're just doing a damn good job of playing it as well.
Yeah, and of course, just overall, this team, they're very laid back, as you could tell from their fun facts and everything. There's no way that any of these other teams would do that. SFU is just one of a kind. You can say that they are the flamingo in the flock of birds. They're just
Maybe
sort of
the
sticking
demigods.
out. The demigods,
Maybe.
okay, their picture was good, but their fun facts weren't like
True. Fair.
Like, just it was all over the place. Regardless, here comes Maps at you really quickly here, and of course, SFU going to be picking up Lotus first here. Ascent going towards CPP, and then Haven going to be our decider. Interesting map selections here overall, because something to point out is Flamingo. They are 1-1 on Lotus all time, whereas CPP Black have never won a game on Lotus here, at least listed on VLR. Our friends to help us out with those stats as well. So almost the collegiate special there, Jobin.
Yeah, I feel like Lotus is going to get, a bit more into that collegiate trio as more and more teams played it, especially like looking at the VLR stats and things like that. I think a lot of teams are mostly focused on scrimming Lotus right now and not playing it in competition. So I think now we're going to start to see these Lotus games start to pile up for these teams, because the last couple months it's been, you want to scrim it, you want to see what kind of comps you can run either with Gecko or however these agents are going to end up spinning out. And speaking of agents, we are into agent select here, and we're going to see a Fade get locked in on one side. Don't see too much Fade on Lotus. The rest of these comps, SFU playing a fairly standard Lotus comp, though.
Yeah, I think that overall, that's what we can expect from these teams as well. There's going to be a little bit more adaptation when it comes to Lotus overall. And one of the questions that I had for a lot of the players actually in the interview, and we'll see if we have a segment on that next week, actually, what the state of Gecko is. And I think Gecko is one of those agents that could find play on Lotus in some regard, but this time around, both of these teams playing it safe, sticking to sort of the old guns of it in some ways, which is weird because, the map has been out not that long. But nonetheless, it should be interesting to see how Lotus throws a wrench into these teams' plans.
Placing sentry.
Overall, you can see going to be defender start for the side of SFU. This map has generally been seen a little bit as more of a attacker-sided map from time to time. We've seen a lot of teams dominate on that attack, pick some double duelist comps in that regard as well. This time around, though, you can see it's very straightforward. Both of these teams sort of picking the tried and true. You get the Raze as your duelist here as opposed to the Jet. You get a little bit more agency opening up some of these smaller corridors with your Fade and stuff, but nonetheless, we can see them start to bias over towards mid, actually, and this is an interesting opener just to go to B, the shortest site here. It's so easy to get on, but very difficult to hold as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of Lotus in a nutshell, is trying to find the right site to get on, but it's so difficult to try to control some of these short corner engagements. Early Trailblazer there from Stu, trying to see if he can scout things out there. The rest of these members playing that slow default right now, sticking their nose over toward that C site.
A little bit more here.
Oh, sorry, Adam, my mic was muted again. We're having a time, my brother. We're having a time today. But luckily, I didn't miss too much of the action. They're working their way past Hill over here towards C. Couple pop flashes in from Cake there. Oh, Viper Orb is going to dissuade that for the time being. Concussion is procced and ready. All these members stacked towards C right now, just waiting to finally hit that go button.
Yeah, Crown taking a lot of pressure here. Gonna have to try and find some shots. Neo gonna find the first blood of this series as well. Just classics of plenty everywhere as CPP Black just pushing forward aggressively on the site. Two members of SFU remaining. They're gonna have to find something. It's down to Kane. The Kane IGL here. Not gonna be able to find it. Flawless round for CPP Black.
Yeah, just nice opener. I mean, doesn't get much better than a flawless to kick off map one, so they're going to be feeling pretty good about that one. We're going to see now Rom looks like they're going to be picking up that Phantom there. That lone hero rifle, we usually see this kind of setup from a lot of these teams nowadays. They try to get that hero rifle. You maybe send a Bulldog or two, usually going to be a couple of Spectres. Other than that, though, they're going to try to get things going here.
Yeah, and I think major thing is, I'm curious to see how these teams are going to execute on Lotus as well. It's so wide open. This is sort of our first real look at these teams playing Lotus more, and it's still so up in the air for a lot of how the strategies work. The meta isn't really fleshed out in the same way that Ascent is or Haven is in that sense. So you can see there might be just a lot of rotations coming down. We might get a little bit rotation happy with that, but Look at this. A site is completely clear, and something that we saw so often in lock-in in all of these tournaments was that A site was just a smorgasbord of util getting dropped. And this time around, there's no one here. No one's home.
Yeah, A is somewhat relatively easy to clear. As long as you clear out this A long kind of setup, if the players play back toward dropping towards heaven, you at least have some time to send a pop flash, drop a dark cover up there on top side of rope there. You can block off a ton of the vision. They have done just that. They're going to find this early plant down. Now it's going to be this 5v5 post plant, but they are going to have a weapon disadvantage, so this is going to be rather tricky.
And, you know, with these pistols, you can just see them lining up, conga lining their way down into A site. They just want to try and take some of these guns out of their hands, but so challenging at the same time. Mikey taking first contact. Arrow, though, gonna be able to land that first shot. This is starting to get a little bit scary here, but never mind. We say that as Cake and Haram are able to find a couple apiece. Haram switching over to that pistol as well, and it's another very clean win for CPP Black because they've come out of the gate swinging.
There.
Yeah, this is starting to develop into an interesting situation for both of these teams, where now we're going to see SFU on a full buy. We'll see them going up with that equal machinery, but it's not quite going to be full shields on everyone. We saw that Sheriff picked up from KO. We saw that couple of guns upgraded from Juka and Stu as well. So you can see Kane on this Omen will have those full shields, as will Crown. But everyone else just got to sort of hold the line for the time being, try and hold their advantages. Mikey with that Sheriff. We've seen the Sheriff just pop up so many times.
Right there.
Of course, just having some audio issues still with it, Joe, but we're going to get that figured out as time goes on. But once again, this plant onto the B site, very interesting to see them opt for this play. They want to play it as safe as possible. It's so difficult to hold these short angles, especially when you have these gun disadvantages, though. It can be very difficult. Mikey finding the head there by KO. Going to answer back with two of their own. 4v2 situation. Party Kid going to get taken down from the side. Crown just going to try and stick the defuse. Mikey finds a second, but Kane will clean up that round. We're going to be good to go from there. SFU find themselves the win. Only 2 guns lost there, so they should be able to buy back up with help from their friends.
Okay. Hopefully, things are fixed. My microphone, pull back the curtain, keeps being a little bit wonky. Hopefully, I'm going to get this thing fixed. We have a very good game on our hands. As you said, SFU down to this 2-1 scoreline right now. Going to be that 10 rifle loadout for all these teams. Starting to see the ultimates start to tick up for that CPP side as well. Rolling Thunder in the back pocket. Showstopper also very, very close to getting put online there. And as we said, these rifles, you know, this is going to be one of our first real rounds of Valorant.
Yeah, and overall, I'm interested to see how that develops as well for both of these teams, how the strategies keep working out. Because CPP, they love this B site thus far. They are allergic to A site. And this is something we don't see very often from teams on Lotus. They love to push A, they love to dump util. But look at this. Kane is able to just cover the entire site, has enough room to just say, hey, team, go over to that C site, go over to B site. These rotations are so quick on Lotus with the cramped map. Here comes the Rolling Thunder in. And they get the Showstopper in as well. Mikey gonna find first blood of the round here. Duke actually gonna be able to turn around that corner, find another one. It's not going to be quite the plant yet, but definitely a lot of members towards this C side as Party Kid. So the plant gets taken down by Steve.
Yeah, that's going to buy them at least a couple of seconds here. Or Aftershock, rather. There's the pop flash, trying to see if he can stop these members from pushing. Juka's going to find the headshot, the paranoid, and the swing from Cake, though. Juka is going to fall there. So, after the dust clears, we have a 3v2. Plant didn't get through. Got stopped over by Stu a little earlier in the round there, but they have a little bit of space to operate over on the site now. Just trying to see if they can scout out any of this information, catch any audio perhaps. But SFU looks like they have a pretty good read on it. All going to come down to the timing, and Haram's going to be good for one. Oh my goodness, it's a double, and Cake finds the third one. A trio of headshots, a triple kill, and a third round on the board for CPP.
Yeah, my goodness, fantastic stuff coming through from CPP there. Haram just sort of lining them up there. They look like a totem pole that you'd find in Stanley Park or something, with all 3 members sort of lining up there. Shout out to BC. Great place. Love that place. But SFU, wishing they weren't on the opposite side of that peak there. Now you can see the buy, not going to be so fantastic. Kane going to go for this hero rifle. Juka going to pick one up as well. But everyone else, a sort of a mixed eco buy. They just try to scrape together any buy that they can because they need to try and find some momentum here, especially on their map pick.
Yeah, Lotus is one map. I've been talking to a lot of the collegiate players from just like CVAL North and some of these other regions. Lotus, they say, very momentum-based map. Like once you get going on Lotus, they feel like it's just a train that is very, very hard to derail. Things just seem to keep going your way. And CPP, things will continue to go their way, at least for the start of this round. They're going to find that first, a couple shots on the one member. Not going to be the end of the world, though. They're still going to have this numbers advantage. And a Nightfall on C or B would be quite effective because it quite literally covers the entire site.
Yeah, interested to see where their rotations are going to come, especially you find an early pick. Of course, Haram, 39 HP. That's one phantom shot to the body that could sort of be their demise. Nightfall goes down. Mikey forced back, though. This Viper util fantastic. Keeping them slowed up for the time being, but Party Kid going to find the entry onto site. Generating smoke, so difficult to deal with for SFU on the defensive side.
Yeah, a couple of them are stacked up here. Oh my goodness, first spray for Party Kid, the Sheriff, to answer back. So, 4v3 having a weapon disadvantage, not the worst situation here, but that situation just got a little bit more dire. In fact, much more so. 2 HP on Mikey. Doesn't matter. 4 members up for CPP. And SFU down right now. Should get these weapons back online. Should see these ultimates start to come to fruition. But right now, CPP, very, very clean game.
Yeah, fantastic stuff coming through from CPP, and this is going to be SFU going for another full buy here. This is them trying to right the ship in a lot of ways. Of course, starting off on the defensive side, they're not going to be too favored in this situation. Granted, we've seen these quote-unquote attacker-sided maps become incredibly defensive-sided in some of these circumstances as well. I want to see them continue to put up these strong rounds, at least for CPP on the attacking side, get a big advantage, because that could easily flip on the opposite side. And with this being SFU's map pick, they are obviously confident with what they can do potentially on the opposite side of the map as well.
Yeah, Lotus is one of those maps as well. You want to always try to make sure you play that cross map. Try to see if you can scout any information. Lotus, I see a ton of times where you send one lurker over to B, you send him over to the A site, you try to, stir something up, and then you just have a very fast execute on one of these other sites. But CPP right now, having that lead, just want to play this default, knowing SFU is going to have those weapons back in tow. Just want to make sure you don't give away anything too early, having a little bit of fun and spawn there, but nothing fun about them trying to figure out where these setups are. There's the guiding light past Mound. Haram tagged down by that poison orb to slow him down, and SFU just waiting for the right time to hit this B site.
Yeah, they're just taking their time, but KO gonna be able to find one quick. Full blind as well. Kane picks that one up. Might have been a little bit of friendly fire on that flash specifically. Cake, though, gonna find one. It's only gonna be down to Neo here on this Killjoy, stuck between the door and the spike. Just staring him down, trying to land that spray. It's going to be Stu to clean that one up. And it's a very good bounce back from the side of SFU. These kind of rounds are what I like to see. Fantastic stuff coming down.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. We talked about Lotus being so momentum-based. You want to make sure you don't go down to that 5-6-1 scoreline where things start to get hairy. Because at that point, you're probably ideally trying to look for that 8-4, 9-3. But if you can get ahead of that nice and early, you can try to get this scoreline back even. And speaking of even, these weapons going to be pretty even across the board. Going to see no armor on the breach. Had to spend a little bit of cash there to buy those flashes, buy those aftershocks. But the rest of these members in the lobby opting for the Vandal as well. No Phantom Enjoyers.
And honestly, it's interesting because there's so many tight corners that the Phantom can sometimes be the better option. Maybe just playing more towards these longer corridors down A, down C potentially as well. Or, you know what, they're just confident in their ping and they're saying, hey, listen, I can hit a headshot. I got this. And they'll just go for the Vandal so that they don't get a Phantom moment. And we've seen those time and time again where Phantom moments can be the cider from time to time. Of course, a lot of the times that people are like, oh, it's a Phantom moment, you know, with a Vandal, it would have killed there. A lot of times the Vandal you wouldn't have hit them and you would have done 0 because it misses. And that's just how Valorant works sometimes.
That is how we call the way she goes. Sometimes Valorant giveth, Valorant taketh away. Looks like CPP, though, they want to take this C site. They're going to invest that lockdown. They're going to see if they can scout out any of these members, at least get them off the site for the time being. Surely the execute will come through. Yeah, we're going to see Mikey get the double blast packs, has the spike in his hands. He's going to plant that thing down, and once again, they're going to play 5v5 on the retake.
And it's 5v5 retake on C once again, although Neo might be the benefactor of a little bit of a double swing here, though. Juka going to be caught out with that alarm bot, taken down, blinded up. Kane swinging around. Can't find Neo for the time being. Neo going to find it once again. CPP are just winning each and every single one of their 1v1s. Crown now forced all the way back. Unlike that YouTuber Nicholas, Crown isn't going to be living as the very rich member. Might be saving up. Gets a kill on his way out at the very least. But should be backing right off. Party Kid actually going to walk into the crosshair as well, but with no time left. Crown turning tail. getting out of there, saving the Vandal at the very least. Small victories for the side of SFU. There's still a lot of time though. Oh my.
Good play here, but gonna get taken down there. CPP gotta take another round.
Yeah, it's just so challenging to see them lose in that situation as well. You know, Crown potentially could have gone back onto the site and found an angle to get back in there, try and find the defuse as sort of a ninja play, but you know, you don't know where the rest of the members are, and they're just all hunting you down. 5v1 situation, not going to be favored for anyone. This time around, though, you can see it's still going to be a relatively okay buy for the side of SFU. The Judge going to be in that Viper's Pit as well for Crown, so should be able to just drop that down and camp around. But CPP have come out alive and firing here. And despite them not having great results on Lotus as it showed through the stats, they've been cooking up a little bit more as this Viper's Pit going to be used on C right in front of Mound there. There's no going through that. Slowly but surely, you can see them pushing up, pushing slowly, making sure they clear each and every one of these angles. Haram gets spotted out by that alarm bot, though. For the first time, it feels like they're putting a little bit of presence towards this A site. It's going to be a Nightfall coming down as well, but the only member who's really around here is Juka. And this Killjoy, as usual, is holding down the area for a little bit, trying to just slow them up a little bit. Plant will come down. This Killjoy lockdown going to be massive. It pushes everyone back into tree. Neo, though, coming in from behind, has a great angle. Going to find one picked up. Haram finds Kao as well. And despite the lockdown, despite the pressure being exerted, they're pushing right through it. No one going to get detained, but 3 members of SFU fall. Just seem to be in shambles at this point. Kane trying to peek this one out. Mikey going to find it once again. It is all down to Crown. Crown picked up, they didn't pick up anything. Has the Judge. Haram going to be able to stay alive with a sliver. That was not Halal there. That was definitely Haram to try and take that one with the Judge, as Haram shows him the way with that Vandal. And a timeout coming down as well for SFU. Gives us a moment to sort of reflect on everything, as well as hopefully fix the audio issues that have been going on. Fortunately, not everything can be picture perfect when we do these online casts, but overall, it has been quite strong of a start coming through from CPP. And as Jobin mentioned, and I think he might be back here as well,
I'm working on it. I apologize.
He's still working on it.
Opera GX is not being my friend right now to just be.
It is not the best browser for gamers.
I have reset this microphone setting 7 times. It has decided to go back 6. So we are going to see. And I would like the people to hear my voice nicely and not have to blow their ears out.
Yeah, we hope so. But as Joven was saying, in a lot of situations as well, you know, you don't want to fall down into these holes early. 6-2, 7-3, 8-4 can lead to a really monumental task ahead of you here. SFU, of course, on a save this time around means that surely there's going to be a lot of pressure put on them by these full event loadout as well. Nonetheless, you can see Sheriff was picked up by Stu already. Very likely Juka should be able to buy something somewhat cohesive here. Actually just going to opt for this Sheriff as well. Now, just going to be very difficult for them to push into this one, but we've seen the Sheriff do greater things in the past. Slowly but surely, they push forward here. 6 rounds already on the attack for for CPP. Sorry, SFU taking those gunfights. Kane was going to be taken down, and Mikey's been great at finding these early picks, looking for these first bloods early. Little spike on that nade, going to do a decent amount of damage. KO just looking for the shots, but Mikey is already in there. Finds a second kill for themselves. And now Cake going to be the one to plant it down. 5v3 retake situation. Right after that timeout, we knew they were going to be on reduced weaponry in that sense with Stu. Still trying to find some shots. That's one. He's at 5 HP, though. A couple of low health bars at the same time. Neo has 18 health. Not going to be in the greatest of situations. Juka just pushing right through, but Party Kid's able to find Stu. Party Kid finds Juka as well, as Crown, last one left alive with this Frenzy. 17 HP and a Dream. Going to be looking right at Cake there. It's going to be baked up, thrown in the oven, 350 degrees for 40 minutes there, as Cake cleans that one up as well.
Yeah, CPP just continuing to have a very, very strong showing right now, just trying to get this round lead advanced as far as they can, have a couple ultimates in the back pocket to tool around with as well. That showstopper, especially on a map like Lotus, there are so many small little choke points, small little corners, you can just fire that thing in, more than likely find some kind of really good value so far. And right now, CPP finding a ton of value just in this game as a whole right now. Just the offensive setups, willingness to mix things up, try to execute on all 3 sites, draw these eyes all over the map right now. Just a very, very good job. SFU just has to play catch up right now.
Yeah, and the issue is that SFU has sort of struggled with just taking these 1v1s as well. Even on even weaponry, they've been losing a lot of these fights. They've been forced to save multiple times in this half, and you know, they have to go on a little bit of a run here, sort of even things out. Yes, this map is attacker-sided, but is it 10-2, 9-3 attacker-sided? I'd beg to differ in that situation as well. Nightfall once again coming through for Rom. Third time I think they've had it there, and Crown finally able to land that shot there. Mikey shut down. Showstopper is stopped before it got started. And now you can just see CPP, they're willing to sacrifice that one member and sort of rotate around at will, going through this door. The only one there to really stop it is Stu with that dog. There's a couple members stacked up there.
Yeah, I guess small win for SFU. They did actually get 2 ultimates burned from CPP. There's a couple kills back the other way, though. Juka, Kane, the kill feed is absolutely full, and it's looking like Kane's name is appearing over and over again, and Juka will find that last one. SFU, what a nice round. You got 2 ultimates off the board, and you cleaned up the rest with light work.
Yeah, really good to see them sort of bounce back in that regard as well, find themselves a good opening to that round. You know, they find the pick onto Mikey, they force CPP's hand a little bit more. And even though they've got enough economy to buy out for the rest of this half, there's going to be more than enough credits to buy out next round as well for the side of CPP. Even if you can match them on those gun rounds of your own, if you're SFU, you can start to put a little bit of fear in the side of CPP as well. Force them back on their haunches a little bit more. Granted, SFU, they really need to rattle off a couple of rounds here if they want to even this out. 9-3, you know, the curse is... It's come true in the past. I won't say that it doesn't exist, because, I mean, last time we were casting this, you know, there were lock-in finals, and Fnatic proved that as well. But still, it's not desirable. You don't want to be in those situations. You know, would you rather be going into the half at 9-3 or 8-4? I think almost every team is going to take that 8-4 unless they are extremely superstitious.
And this could be 7-5, so they're still in the realm of possibility where they, having the Seekers as well, they have the ultimate advantage right now, so they can win off this round. Not sure what the economy's looking like, Dale, though. That's a lot of members over there. They're going to get tagged down by the paint shells. 60 HP left, has the Roomba, has a couple blast packs, but CPP, they are satisfied with the information they got there. They're going to take their butts over to that A site, but there is a wall lineup already waiting. Yeah, they're going to stack up, and we see this so much on A. Everyone just stacks up in a conga line, and you just hit A with everything you have all at once, and you just see if the defense can hold.
Yeah, Mikey gets in on the site there. Stu is just caught blinded. Crown and Kane, though, able to reply in kind. And all of a sudden, this A execute. They thought they had the wool over their eyes. Might not be the case anymore. Crown, great angle, dealing a lot of damage there. And Cake was sitting on a sliver. Kane sitting in that smoke as well, just waiting for the next member to walk through. It's going to be one. Oh, but we get shot down at the end of that. Haram's still at full HP. You can see that Neo not very healthy either. Ew, has enough health to potentially contest here. Takes another shot. Juka gonna find it. Time is ticking. It's gonna be down to Haram. He's gotta find this plant. He's gotta do it right now. Oh, gets destroyed, KO. You're not gonna have time to stop this play. Oh! That just barely misses it out with the blast pack. But wins the 1v1 as Haram goes down by the slimmest of margins. SFU escaped that one, and that was real close, Jobin.
I love explosions.
I was rather close indeed.
She's gonna be our least favorite part of this one.
I am so sorry. I will fix it.
It happens. It happens to the best of us, and that round as well for CPP. They thought they had it in the bag. That blast pack was just a little bit late to potentially stall out that round, potentially save them from the plan. The KO definitely just holding the line, keeping it within them. And the only real gun that we're going to be missing out on here is something on Juka, who has that judge, might be holding some of these closer corners once again with the Killjoy. But as you mentioned there, you know, 7-5 is definitely a far cry from what this could have been. Kane, though, going to get shut down right off the bat. Mikey on this raise has been fantastic thus far.
Off your feet!
Slowly but surely pushing towards A. It's the first time that we've seen sort of a very quick A execute, pushing forward all cylinders at that point. The breach util coming down, but a couple members of SFU still holding the line. These paint shells gonna get a decent amount of information, decent amount of damage potentially down. Party Kid, though, just gonna go for that plant. They put SFU on a little bit of a timer. This Killjoy lockdown gonna be coming down. New GFX tells you, hey, there's really a lockdown in this area. KO has to get out of there quickly. And that lockdown buys them 12 seconds, buys them enough time to just sort of take some of these more aggressive angles. Crown actually going to get caught in that. Just get shut down. Mikey and Party Kid going to find him as well. And it may not be the 7-5 that we had potentially looked at. It's going to be an 8-4, though. They split their difference. The CPP, great attacking half of themselves.
We're here because we're the best. Don't any of you
And I think
forget
the
that.
major story of this has just been how consistent the overall team from CPP have been. You can see everyone contributing there. Their lowest frag is only 1 kill behind the top frag on the side of SFU and Kane. But this should be this shouldn't be a situation that Kane is unfamiliar with. This shouldn't be a situation that SFU are unfamiliar with in a lot of ways. This team has played in a lot of tournaments. In notes here, we got CCC, Canadian. They went to grand finals where they're taken down by St. Clair. They had the LCQ where they lost to U Alberta, but they've had a lot of other games outside of that where they've done quite well for themselves. This team is one that is quite seasoned, and with Kane as your IGL, you simply have to hold the line for as long as possible to try and solve what you can. At the same time, SFU, they're going to have to dig deep on their map pick. We see it so often in collegiate where teams will trade their map picks back and forth, going the opposite way. This is not a situation that SFU want to be in. They were a lot of people were saying they were going to go far in this tournament, and to get shut down in the first round on the first map would not be a good start to that. Granted, still a lot of Valorant left to play.
It was a window setting, not a browser setting. Good Lord. Why? I don't care. I found it. I don't know why Windows changed. I found it though. It has to be fixed now. It was it. Luckily, we are in the second half. I'm ready to go now. I'm fired up. CPP's fired up. They have an 8-4 lead. We are getting into things here. A little bit of spiciness over on that one side. They're gonna make their way over to this mound though. Full setup there, waiting for them. You know, as we see with these pistol rounds, usually it's all or nothing, and it looks like it's going to be all. Guiding light, nano swarm to block things off. The alarm bot to deter as well. Just that microwave gonna block off this push.
Yeah, block it off for the time being. Party Kid, though, peeking into a couple, and Kane Juka, they link up for a couple of kills of their own. 30 seconds left, though, and KO coming around this side, spamming through that smoke. Oh, my goodness, Mikey just barely escaping death. Haram finds another one, and all of a sudden, these health bars are starting to become a little bit of a concern. We see Kane low health. We see Mikey low health. They've got to just play together. That haunt is destroyed. Gets a brief glimpse. KO gonna find it onto Haram. These paint shells as well, just causing so much chaos. KO gonna get the 3K there. Mikey takes down an extra one, but between the two of them, that's one shot each, and that is how close these pistol rounds can come.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of these rounds come very close. Yeah, pistol is usually that one round. Like a lot of teams, I will say though, I give a lot of credit to the teams that have a high pistol win percentage, because people might just look at it as, oh, it's the first round of each half. You know, it doesn't really mean that much in the grand scheme of things. But if you can consistently win, 65, 70% of your pistols, those rounds are going to add up, especially in a tournament like CVAL, where we've seen so many games where it's 13-11, 14-12. We've seen 16-14. So these 1 or 2 rounds here and there end up making such a large difference. So I give a lot of credit to the teams that, have a very organized, clean pistol.
You can see them just sort of exploring the map a little bit more, and we talked about how attacker-sided this can end up being. They're going to need to have a better attacking half than what CPP were able to put up. 8 rounds is significant, I want to say. And now we should be able to mount up, build themselves forward. But of course, playing slowly. They don't want to give over any free guns, and they don't really know what's going on. And you can see over on that A site, neither do CPP. And now quickly on to the site they go. Stu putting the dog through a little bit of a war zone there with that the Viper snakebite at least. But will be able to find that plant crown. Gonna make a little bit of damage on the way in, actually a lot of damage, and now a little bit closer than they expected here for the side of SFU.
Right there.
All playing off.
Last player standing.
Yeah, just gonna be able to. They won't be able to recover that Phantom in any sense, but still, nonetheless, they should be okay as it stands right now. It's still gonna be just a little bit of a messy bonus, but you take what you can get in that situation. Actually, saw that flash forward briefly there that KO might just be given over a gun, but nonetheless, we will have to keep our eyes on. They're actually gonna buy out for KO here. They trust their duelist to just get in there, get dirty, and find a couple of kills. And this is a heavy investment for them. The Party Kid already moving forward. Neo there as well, but it's Party Kid party is over there, unfortunately, as Juka shuts it down. He called it himself, 6'7", a feminist, and doesn't like to party. He's taking that away from Party Kid.
Oh, there we go. Had VMix got messed up again. Either way, though, you know, the party got stopped. The parents came home. Either way, though, CPP trying to even things back up this round. Lockdown already in the back pocket. That is a very, very fast time to get a lockdown, especially considering it's only been 2 1/5 of a round here. So this could be a very powerful tool, and especially getting the lockdown this early, I would love to see it get used in some capacity, knowing that, hey, we're probably going to get this thing back in a couple rounds. Let's send everything we have. That's a dangerous play, though, and Mikey is there for the read. Good for one.
Oh, my goodness.
Showstopper online. Look at, speaking of early ultimates, this is the ultimate zoning tool. He is trying to find any one of these members willing to cross his path. Nothing with the showstopper. The vandal shots, though, gonna land a couple there. Haram is gonna find back with that kill, though. Neo still playing up through mid here, hearing a lot of footsteps go over. C site wide open, plant surely to come.
30 seconds left.
Juka just going to be able to rotate themselves over, but, you know, with that Bulldog, not going to be the greatest of guns. Not sure what Crown has as well for themselves, but once again, this is such a challenging retake spot. As you mentioned, the head glitch here is so difficult to deal with. The main thing is that they don't know where the rest of CPP are, as the lockdown actually going to come down as well. They're trying to spam out the spike, but a really smart place from Juka. Granted, going to be taken down. Oh, the lockdown still, just barely gets destroyed there. Neo going to take down Crown on the opposite side, and it is going to be a win for the side of CPP. It was a little bit challenging there as Mikey finds a new little cheeky spot there for those paint shells, but nonetheless, great round from the side of CPP Black to get themselves to 9.
Oh, nice little look at the turret there too, Neo, giving us a nice little look into the mind of a Killjoy. But I mean, look at some of these score lines already. You see Mikey 16-8 on the Raze, only 1 assist. That is a true duelist right there. Haram 14-8 already on that fade. The rest of these members, honestly, this is how you can see how well balanced this team is. Just so many of these members kicking near that double-digit line. And I mean, Neo playing the Killjoy, just playing that safe role, not really trying to get these early frags, still finding these kills when they need to. And you can just see how well this game plan of CPP has been executed so far. But weapon advantage going to be in favor, I believe, of SFU, at least to some capacity. I saw a couple rifles there and a couple Spectres there for the CPP squad.
Yeah, it's not going to be the greatest of buys for the side of CPP. Of course, them losing a couple of rifles on their buy means that they're going to be a little bit worse for wear this time around. But at the very least, SFU able to full buy it for themselves once again. And slowly but surely, they're marching their way up A. This is something that we didn't see a whole lot out of CPP on their attacking side. The Broncos were a little bit too scared to let the horses run through A site here, but on the opposite side, you can see SFU fully confident going for this as much as possible and playing a little bit more to what we expect on Lotus, where you do go for the A pushes as much as possible. You try and find that space, and then you can rotate around in the latter half of the round, and that seems to be what they're doing. They're just trying to bait out more people to get over to this side of the map, as Juka's the one sort of exploring the map. Gonna find a Killjoy turret, take that down on B, and now all of a sudden, alarm bells start to go off for the side of CPP.
Yeah, B is looking pretty open right now, but a lot of teams, you know, more teams than not, don't typically enjoy going to B. They like to go to one of these side sites. I think they're slightly easier to clear out, a little less elevation change in some of those areas, but all these members stacked up toward Mound. I suspect they'll maybe try to grab that orb, but that is quite a lot of KJ utility. That is an alarm bot and double nanos. The entire microwave there. The swing, though, Kane is going to find the first kill. Party Kid just not ready with the reaction. The nano swarm not getting popped in time. 12 seconds left, though. A play is going to have to be made. It's going to be made, though, this site. Only having those 2 defenders, and once you get past that KJ utility, it was really only that one Omen back in the corner, and he's going to get taken down. Spike is going down, and now SFU just trying to play 5v4.
Yeah, Neo actually caught out with that snake bite as well. Gets taken down by Kane hiding in the corner. KO as well, gonna be able to find one. 5v2 situation, but these are the 2 members who've been popping off. Mikey, though, gonna be taken down, and now Haram's gonna have to make some magic happen. Seems to be pulling a play out of the Crown textbook and just getting out of there with that rifle. Looking to save as much as possible, but Kane's looking. Kane hunting for this one. Kane gonna win that 1v1. It's a 3K for the Omen. A flawless round for SFU. And this momentum starting to shift back the opposite way.
Yeah, we've got a ball game on our hands now. Now the weaponry is going to be a very big question mark, and by that I mean a rather sore talking point for the side of CPP. They invested those last couple rounds. This is when this is going to come back to bite you. And this is when, if you're SFU, you have got to smell blood in the water. You're probably going to push this to a 9-8 game. Then it's going to be, that 1 round difference is going to be a very, very small one. Nothing they're not going to be able to overcome in the way. Like you said, momentum is such a big thing. Once you get going, once you get that duelist player hot, once that utility starts to really feel like it's hitting the mark, things just seem to open up so much more, especially as you start moving A over to B, trying to catch these lurks, catch these rotates. SFU right now just having a good read on the game.
Yeah, and it seems like SFU are sort of taking a play out of the Rainbow Six playbook. We've heard about the 30
do nothing
second
for 2
meta.
minutes.
Yeah, do nothing for 2 minutes and then sort of go from there. But in that sense, they're not really doing nothing. They're opening up the map. They're looking for sort of these angles of attack, and then they're making their presence known in the last 30 seconds. Granted, KO here very early, looking for as much as possible, throwing out those blast packs in a very different way, as Crown able to get a couple of kills there. 2 nice headshots. Using those blast packs extremely offensively, saying, hey, take some damage, you get 15 damage, you get 15 damage. Cake says you get 160 to the head there as he finds the headshot.
I was going to say, Crown was telling those 2 guys, king me when he got that double kill. Now, sight advantage is going to be SFU's favor. I mean, the weapon advantage is theirs. They do have the Viper Pit. Wouldn't expect they have to use it. Oh, that little spray transfer, Crown. Nice little 3K on the round. Kill is going to be answered back by Cake. He's going to get taken down by Stu. So, now, what's new? Omen being left alone to his own devices. Kane going to help him take care of the problem there. That's going to be 8 for SFU. And don't look now. They are 1 round away from tying up this game. And they've got a couple damn good ultimates to help. And damn, this money of CPP is still pretty not great.
It's mixed. Yeah,
it'll work for this round, but it's not good.
I think they're just calling to force this round and say, you know what, listen, we're going to go all in on this round. Let's try and find the win. We're calling our timeout here as well, but at the same time can be very difficult to sort of hold these lines. And of course, wouldn't be CVAL West without some back and forth games to open us up here. We get an extra weekend of games, all things considered. We get to see the first round matches. We get those extra highlights for these teams as well. We get to see them develop a little bit more. And maybe it's just the top 8 jitters coming through for SFU in the early parts here. Very strong play from CPP to start it off. And I mean, much like your microphone there, it wasn't working in the first half, but now SFU, they're online, they're ready to play.
Oh, my microphone wasn't working in the start of the second half either. We are a 4th quarter team. We show up when it is time to clutch up. We made it back in. SFU, I mean, to be fair though, SFU, I believe it was the interview they had with the SFU member that they talked about just being happy to get to top 8. Some teams, right? While, yes, making top 8 is an accomplishment, you don't want to rest on your laurels too much. You don't want to be satisfied with that top 8 finish, because it felt like to them, right, it was almost a sense of relief instead of a chase of like, we want to go get this weird, because we hear some teams talk, right, they're like, yeah, we're going to go win CVAL. Whether it's delusional, whether it's fantasy, or whether it's, it's grounded in a lot of logic, these teams have different expectations. SFU, a team that was happy to make top 8, but now that they're in a dogfight, I suspect they're going to want just a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think the major thing is just that having been able to cast their league team as well, this is a team that has been completely overlooked in so many Canadian rankings for so long. They've been trying to get just any recognition from anyone else outside of their school, and it's just been so challenging. KO just going to give a little bit of recognition to Cake there as he throws a rocket up there. Mikey going to be able to win in that ditto as well. Crown, though, with the judge, is laying down the law here. Finds a couple of kills once again through that Viper's Pit. And this is so challenging for CPP to try and contend into. Haram gets taken down. Party Kid taken down with the judge as well. And now the bank account is dry for the side of CPP Black. We are all tied up. That's a whole new ball game here. And it's basically just a Swift play now. First one to get to 5.
Yeah.
4, actually. It's a spike rush. It's a spike rush at this point.
Where's the golden gun orb?
Oh, please,
oh
no,
God!
please,
no, I know. It's just game ruin. Oh, where's automatic ultimate orb? Oh, let me just get another lockdown here really quick, boys. But CPP, I mean, you talked about it. The buy is just frankly not there. And the economy of SFU, that is one thing. When they keep 3-4 members alive every single round, time after time, we are getting to the end game. That economy is just as important as winning these rounds. Because even if, CPP were to try to get this to a 10-10 game, if your economy is still in the dumps, you're not going to be able to buy out the rest of the game. And SFU is going to be able to, and you're putting yourself at such a disadvantage. We are going to see the Omen TP there, trying to get back to his teammates there, yeah. More of a get back to his teammates, but this flank is disgusting. Juka has triggered discipline of a safe, but still hasn't fired a shot, and Party Kid finds 2. Juka, you gotta fire a bullet, man. Look at, he only gets 1. Juka, hand in the cookie jar, gets turned on by Cake, and all of a sudden the play has gone sideways. We got KO up in heaven trying to survive, getting to Cade. Oh my goodness, Juka had the world in front of him and only came out with the country.
Granted, he caught the strike down as well. Cake gonna be able to find Crown. It is KO versus the world here. Gonna find one once again. Cake able to turn it back around. It's a 3K for KO, but Cake is the one to clear out that round.
Does he take the cake?
CPP Black. Yeah. We'll say takes the cake because they get a thrifty as well. The collegiate special, of course, I got a thrifty.
Yeah. Right, literally. Game's on the line. Weapons are fairly terrible. Ultimate's not in your favor. We are going to clutch this thrifty. And the fact, like, oh, Juka, like, that's what, you understand the play, right? You want to maximize the play, but sometimes you just have to take what's there, I think. Because we see a lot of times, right? You try to get, like, yes, I want to get all three of these players, but getting one player and rotating back to mid is still a very good play. You're getting a numbers advantage. You would have been taking Breach off the table as well, which is massive for playing these post plants. It just, you know, it felt like it was a play that could have, should have, would have happened. Obviously, right? Hindsight's 2020 in the moment. Seems like a good idea, but just got caught.
And I think the major thing was, I don't know how much Juka was expecting them to be that spaced out. Cake was very far away from Mikey, who was also significantly far away from the rest of the team. Granted, it still ended up being Cake sort of taking it there. You know, maybe you kill Cake and Mikey isn't able to do that in the same sense, but the Seeker's coming out. Neo under a lot of fire here, but look at the flank coming through once again. Neo going to be taken down by Crown. It's going to be Kane finding Haram on the side. It's only the two flankers left alive. They're got to go through the door, but Juka is all too familiar with this situation. Very aware of the angles being held. Kane going to take down Mikey. It's all down to Cake in a 1v5 situation. Going to have to cook up something more than pastries here if he's going to clean this round up.
I like the idea of Mikey just getting absolutely rinsed through the door, and Cake just goes, nope, I'm letting the door close. I am not even going to entertain that idea. But SFU, they have a pretty good idea where Cake might be coming from. He's going to find that first kill, though. He is going to try to dip back to safety now. Try to get the aftershock there, see if he can find anything. But at this stage of the game, yeah, when it's 10-9 and you know that your economy is not in the best spots because neither of these teams is getting the loss bonus. So every single investment you make has to be that worthwhile one. Cake, lurking mid. This flank, though, could potentially come to fruition. I do not suspect Cake leaves this corner, though.
I think Cake's just going to hold the line here. Doesn't want to give over that gun. We're going to just be sort of staring through the wall, not knowing that there's just another breach on the opposite side of that wall. But now, yeah, this buy is rough. And I mean, the main reason that was fueling them towards that previous buy that they were able to get was the loss bonus. Now, that's all taken away once again.
SFU's money.
Right this is the first time we've seen the Canadian dollar do this well into the American dollar since I was like 12 years old. I'm gonna be real.
Not wrong, no. He spits facts.
We got monopoly money up here, but apparently SFU found the infinite money glitch. Yeah, it smells like maple syrup. For those of you who don't know, yeah, it's kind of interesting that it smells like. I don't know how they do it on every single one, but look at the push coming through from CPP.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. KO might just be. Oh, he's looking the wrong way.
The only thing is, they do have pistols, and this stun can get landed, though. Oh, the jump was beautiful. Does at least find one, but that weapon is going to be down. However, Kane, like a sitting duck, waiting for them to try to come take away that rifle. But, honestly, not a bad start. You had worse weapons. Oh, Kane. Get it off the map. Yeah, get it out of here. They can buy it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's really smart as well because you don't want to be giving that over to the opposite side. Granted, Cake does have that Vandal still. You do have to be mindful of where this breach is sitting. And with time ticking down, the more chaotic these rounds get, the more it would favor the weaker weaponry. You want to play this as methodical as possible. And they're just walking potentially right into the teeth of the defense. But CVP, they can't get cold feet. They can't leave the site. They need to be aware of what's going on here.
Oh, man, I'm not sure. They might be aware now. We see the three-man rotation coming through, so I think they are catching on now. Once the snake bite goes through this Trailblazer, I think they're going to have a pretty good idea. So, C-Site looks like it will potentially be our battlefield here. The Trailblazer, the lockdown going to be invested. So, SFU, they want to take this round over. It's going to be CPP now going to try to play this retake. A lockdown of their own if they decide to want to invest it. Not sure that they're going to decide that, though. Kane does take down Party Kid, get this numbers game back in the favor of SFU. Crown playing backside near Mound. It's going to be two of these members playing that little head peek on Mound. It's planted for it. It makes the most sense. It's probably the safest spot to plant in the entire game. Aftershock, and they bump Kane out of the corner there. He's waiting for Neo to cross his sights, though. Neo with the drop shot. Kane is going to send the Paranoid. Still has a dark cover in the back pocket. Crown, though, taking Neo down. Kane finds one with the spray. Cake on the swing, does find one back. However, It's 3v1, and like we said about the economy, it's still not that good for CPP. What is that?
Hey, he's just checking out his gun, making sure that it works. Juka.
Oh, it works.
It works. Yeah, Cake's been good at finding these sort of cleanup kills at the end, but once again, the only number that matters at the end of the day, you can drop a 30 bomb and still lose the game. And now SFU 11 on the board, 1 away from forcing overtime no matter what, 2 away from potentially cleaning up the game. Juka says, boys, time to chill it out. Let's get these strategies set. Let's finish off this game in style.
Yeah, whether Juka knows it or not, whoever from my Call of Duty OGs, he just got silent shotted by that Vandal Inspect. You know, you why fakey, you know, you clap the gun a couple times, you know, a little silent bullet comes out. But SFU, I like that they're going to slow things down here, especially after having taken the lead. The weapons, they're going to be able to buy out the rest of the game. Just frankly, they are going to be able to purchase pretty much whatever they want. The only thing is, though, CPP, those are a lot of ultimates online, and SFU, you know, they're going to have half their ultimates, but Lockdown and Seekers being pretty much potentially, I wouldn't say out of the game the rest of the way. They could definitely get a couple kills and get that back. Yeah, but there is a very strong chance we're not going to see that lockdown come back. So if you're CPP now, down 1, it's 11-10. You have got to find value in these ultis. If you do not, and you drop these weapons one more time, this game is going to be over.
And the major thing is that you have to fight against all of this momentum that SFU have built up for themselves. You know, they were down 8-4 at the half. And this has been 2 defensive rounds that CPP have been able to scrape together. And even then, I mean, they scraped them together. It was not looking good for them. And now SFU, they've got their vibe back. They've got the mojo back. And we talk all about how these teams, they need to stay out of their own heads. They need to prevent themselves from getting caught up in the moment. And I think that is exactly what SFU have been able to do. They've been able to just do exactly what's what's necessary right in front of them. They don't need to worry about anything else. It's just win this round, win this round, win this round. And slowly but surely, they found themselves in a very advantageous position. We'll have to see what CPP are able to offer up, because look at this, a 3-man flank once again. Stu spots it out, and they're all too aware this time around.
Why?
Really aware that's 3.
Look at this.
Oh my
They
goodness.
are going for it here. Oh, it is, and it blows right up in their face. That is 2 CPP members down for the count.
Oh!
But Cake gets 2 right back. He's going to fall, though. Crown takes him down, but Adam, we have 5 dead bodies. 5 dead bodies in T-side spawn. Count them up 6. Look at Juka going lurking on the KJ into their side spawn, knowing that that pressure came through. I love that play from him. Very intuitive. And it's gotten them a 3v1. They have a lot of these ultis, and they're more than likely going to be sitting on match point with them.
Yeah, and honestly, during that timeout, I saw the pings going down, and I know
Yeah.
Juka was the one who called it. You can see it exactly. Juka, though, gets caught napping on the spike. But once again, as you mentioned, this spike plant spot is so difficult to deal with. The pose plant is ridiculous. Neo's going to have to make some magic happen. There's a Viper orb as well. Like, what can you even do? Has to check below. There's snake bites coming down now, you know.
Oh, that was buggy.
It's the decay wearing off.
Oh, yeah. It's going up and down somehow. Yeah, it was.
Goes up again. Okay, I'm going to throw these out as well. They're just so much damage.
What a fun game for Neo.
Yeah, Neo's not having fun. He's got to go back in the Matrix.
I mean, to be fair, Raze and Viper being... If Raze, Viper, and KJ are left alive for a post plant, God bless you, because there's not much counterplay to that. CPP, the counterplay this round is going to primarily be in those ultimates, because the weapons are going to be mixed. Just put it lightly. A Spectre heavy armor on Mikey, that showstopper at least has to find 1. Ideally, you're looking for 2, even though it's a bit of a tall ask. The only thing is, though, Keho's got 1 right back the other way, and Crown has that Viper Pit. If they can take space up early on any one of these sites, that Viper Pit could completely throttle the CPP side.
And a major thing here is last round they had the ultimate advantage by far. This time around, no. There's 3 ultimates on the side of SFU. They can fight fire with fire in a lot of ways here. They've got all this momentum riding on their back. We were saying at the half, you know, if they can get to 7-5, it was going to be looking good. 8-4 was okay. But now you can see they've rattled off 8 rounds on the attacking side already. Got to do my math properly.
100 rounds.
Compared to the 2 that are on the side for CPP, showing that, hey, you may have had us in the first half, but no, we're going to come back with fire. And now, oh my goodness.
Oh, someone stay, please. Okay. You imagine? We've seen it before.
Yeah, they're just taking their time. They will just walk on here. Haram might have the angle of the century as well, though. Oh, he's going to get spotted out there. firing it down, but doesn't have any shield. That's the showstopper coming down, and KO gets an angle onto sight. KO's found 3 already here for themselves, and this is a massacre here. CPP Black are going to need a miracle from Neo to try and save this round, as well as from Party Kid.
Yeah, we'll see if he can recreate, you know, that one scene from The Matrix where he clutches the 1v5, but he's got a lockdown, and that's it. He's got a judge as well, finds one. However, his lockdown might get proc through, so he might buy himself a few seconds, you know, looking around for one of these weapons, playing that looter shooter, gonna get this SFU started. But SFU, listen, they're privy to this information. They're gonna spot him out and track him down, crowned with the final kill of that game. And SFU, impressive as ever. They take down map 1 Lotus, and they're going to take a 1-0 series lead in this best of 3.
Yeah, and honestly, really good stuff coming through from CPP in that attacking half, but SFU, they were just scaling up slowly but surely, marching their way forward, getting into their comfort zone on that attacking half, and I think that is the reason why they picked this map. They said, hey, listen, we are so good on attack here. We know what to do under these situations. Didn't even look like it phased them a little bit there, and of course, CPP Black, they're going to have a lot of work to do. Of course, going back to their map pick, going back to Ascent, they're going to have to stabilize a little bit more, show SFU that they can win on their map pick, but it's not going to be easy. SFU, of note, 5-1 on Ascent as well. So it's going to be a tall order. It's going to be a tall task, but hey, CPP, they can bring it to them, as we saw in that first half.
Yeah, I was going to say, CPP showed us a lot of really good stuff in the first half. And I mean, to be fair, they lost, 13-10? It's not like the game was a stomp. It was still a very, very close game. And there was a couple plays, too. There was some of those, running all the way into each other's spawns were a little bit wild. And it seemed to go SFU's way more times than not. Because CPP, if 2 of those rounds get flipped one way or the other, there's a very strong chance that's an 11-11 game, maybe 12-11. But SFU, like I said earlier in the game, just one step ahead, seemingly just a little bit quicker to hit that trigger, and they were just a little bit cleaner today. And like you said, they're going to take their map pick, and CPP can have a chance to try to keep things alive.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how they do so. But we are going to take a short break while we reset the lobby, get everyone set up for Ascent, take a little bit of a break here. But when we're back, map 2, Cal Poly Pomona Black versus Simon Fraser University Flamingo coming at you live.
We had a very, very competitive map one, actually. We saw CPP taking on SFU, and SFU just sneaking away with their map one win. They picked Lotus, they went and they held home court. Now CPP, they're going to take their talents over to Ascent, and they're going to see if they can knot things up.
Yeah, and Ascent is one of these maps that we've talked about so often that, the meta is so defined. Everything's already just set up for these teams from the get-go in a lot of ways, and both these teams have a lot of experience on this map as well. 5-1 for SFU Flamingo, plus all the experience that Kane has on this map from other competitions on other teams. Same thing for CPP Black. They've probably played this map a lot more than what VLR would show.
I mean, it's Ascent.
It's Ascent.
They've
Honestly,
played it 9,000 times.
Yeah, if we look at like ranked stats and everything too, oh boy, we're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of that one. But of course, just very well played from both of these teams, and we got to see a lot of brilliance come through. Mikey had a great first half. We saw Haram have a great first half as well, but it was really the comeback from Kane, from Juka, from KO in the second half there that really cemented SFU's win.
Yeah, and I mentioned it, I think, near the end of the first half in that first map, but it felt like the SFU team as a whole was just being a little bit more consistent across the board. We saw the kills getting a little bit more evened out. We saw, like you said, Mikey and Haram were having fantastic games. We saw Mikey, he was like 16 and 10 at one point, just popping off on the race. But the only thing with that is, once that duelist even cools off just a little bit, if it's taking those 2 or 3 Ks to win you a lot of these rounds, it's very, very hard to kind of sustain that one-man army. So you need that crew, you need that group to have your back and try to support you. Find the rest of those kills. SFU did a great job. Honestly, just reading the map was one of the biggest things, because Lotus, a lot of teams, it's still kind of tricky to read. The rotations are still a little bit wonky just the way the map is laid out, but they seemed like they were kind of ready for everything. They had a plan A, a plan B, sometimes a plan C, and it really showed, and 13-10 was the end result.
Of course, Lotus means you have to have 3 plans for 3 sites there. But of course, switching gears over to Ascent, as we mentioned, this is a map where the meta is solved in a lot of ways. But there have been some recent developments. There's been teams starting to pick up Viper, for instance, with Sky, if you so desire on it. So there's a little bit of agency there. Yes, we've seen Gecko picked up on the map as well. I know, speaking to these teams individually, both of these teams just feel like Gecko's not going to be one of those agents that they're going to necessarily just throw in there. And we could be surprised by one later on down the tournament and later on by some of these teams. But in that same regard, you never know what's going to happen. Maybe one of these teams has been cooking up Gecko comps for a little bit here, and they want to make use of it here, because especially for CPP, this is going to be a big game for them, the when they want to even out this series. And even if they are to fall here and they go to that losers bracket, they want to show a very strong performance on their own map pick.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Gecko's been out for a while. Teams are fairly comfortable on him, but to pull him out in a top 8 CVAL match, maybe not necessarily feeling as confident. I mean, Ascent, Adam, would you like to take a wild guess what agents we're going to see? Are we going to see Jet, KO, Killjoy, and Sova? And Omen?
Yeah, there might be a little bit of adaptation coming through, because Mikey is like very much in favor of Raze over the Jet, which might be that sort of adaptation there. There's already one right there. Cake's playing the breach, and that's it's still a change up though. And this is
true.
It is different. Instead of the KO, you get the breach, and now it's going to be very difficult because KO. What happened?
I told you, Adam. I said what was going to happen. Someone else put KO, and look what happened. What can we call him? Kano? Is that too much?
Well, because then there's Kane.
Kano. Kane,
we have Kano, Kane, Kano, and KO.
This is brutal.
We're getting too deep.
We love SFU.
It's the game. It's game 2. We're supposed to do this at like game 5 of the best of 5.
Yeah. Well, either way.
Yeah. Regardless.
I like that Kane is the only one with no SFU in his name either. Just right in the middle. Just Kane.
Yeah. Granted, Kane is the newest player, so maybe he doesn't have time to switch it up. And
I probably can't name change with CVAL rules. Actually, I know there's a lot of name change.
That's probably what it is. You know, they just didn't want to go through the stress of it. Granted, hey, qualify for top 3, you get to go on Tournament Realm, and then you can change it to SFU if you so desire. Okay, that's your sort of push to get there, but nonetheless, gonna be just standard openings here. And this time around, once again, CPP gonna be on that attacking side. And we saw them do wonders on it on that first map. Then again, this is a map that is a little bit more even when it comes down to it. As you can see, full stack here. KO just sort of hiding behind here as Cake going to take a decent amount of damage as well. Kaho find 2 for themselves on this Ghost already. And now Cake in the corner gets taken down. It's just a mess. It's a 2v2 situation now, as the Jet is the only one who's really healthy for the side of SFU. Have to sort of turn tail and rethink their approach. Right into this Jet.
Yeah, that was a well-timed paranoia there from Party Kid. So, KO, you have to back off here. He's gonna make his way up over to Heaven. Spike plant going to be started on that default spot behind Gen Neo. Still has 2 nano swarms, so some post plant setup potential in the works here. KO trying to work around the flank. It's pistol, so they are surely going to go for this at some point. First nano swarm. Take it off the table. 12 HP. Does have the Sheriff, though. So if they can find some shots, and they will do just that. All of a sudden, if you can get this 2v1 pitched on, Party Kid might be in for a rude awakening. The turret, the 3K, the win for SFU. A very scrappy pistol, but nonetheless, a win for SFU.
Yeah, honestly, really good stuff coming down, and Juka just lurking. That entire time lurking with this Sheriff for so long. Oh, just enjoying the wall a little bit there at the end, but nonetheless, it's a really strong pistol performance from them. They were able to sort of open it up with just an aggressive hold through mid. You don't expect there to be defenders just sitting in mid like that, so far up, sort of stacked up as well. It just seemed to catch CPP unaware, and now you can see Cake actually forcing here, and they wanna get some damage down. This is really interesting to see them force on round 2.
That's the way she goes, baby. We see, honestly, we've been seeing a lot more of these like early round forces, a lot more of this stuff as time has gone on. Whether it's the confidence of players, whatever it is. Yeah, that is a lot of damage. Oh, the turret, the crossfire. KO lucky to escape with his life there, but does escape nonetheless, so that is going to be a player still on the table.
Yeah, and it wasn't without damage being taken back. Mikey with that Sheriff not buying shields, has 64 HP, has to be very careful. Doesn't have any util either. It is only those paint shells to potentially save the day. Despite Kyle being at 10 HP, you know, you can hold some of these longer angles, which are so difficult for the classics to catch up with. Even the Stinger can have a little bit of bloom on that, where you can potentially get away with murder there. But nonetheless, exploring mid once again, right into the teeth of Kaho there. We're going to have to just distinguish it. Kaho going to be able to find that shot.
Yeah. Kaho, Kane, and KO, not to be confused with each other, but Cake, nothing confusing about that Stinger kill. That is a nice flash toward market, but Kane going to back off to safety there. This A side looks like they potentially had their eyes set on it, trying to rotate over there. A lot of KJ util, though.
Stack.
Yeah, a lot of KJ util all over on that A side, though. So this is going to be the meat grinder. I'm talking about the meat grinder. Juka doesn't need the util. He's going to take care of business with the Bulldog. That is a nice double kill, leaving CPP reeling. 1 member left in tree. Juka's got 3, taken down by Party Kid, but not before the damage is done. SFU in control, and they'll take round 2.
Yeah, really good stuff coming through from them, and this is the... They're just trading around guns at the end. This is the problem with picking Ascent as your map pick. You need to come through with something a little bit different. And yes, Cake playing this Breach, Mikey playing the Raze as opposed to your standard Jet and KO combo there. It is something a little bit different, but there hasn't really been difference in strategies. They've been trying to open up mid. They've been trying to look for a little bit more here. And now Mikey just going to take a page out of the Shorty King school of thought. Judge, you see the double satchel in. I'm sure we're going to see it. We're going to try and see some tombs going down.
There is no other way to play Raze other than using the doof and double blast backing through garage, which looks like it is the strategy. Turret gonna go down before any damage can be sustained. Dark cover into market. Kane, net grenade, and that 0 point ready. But the nano swarm gonna bump him off the spot. Nice little 5-man suppress. They're gonna walk through the microwave. They're gonna survive too. There are a lot of kills going back and forth. That Judge gonna find some use there backside of Boathouse. CPP, they're gonna find some use out of the B side. They're gonna find that plant in a very, very messy round, but they got numbers, they got sight.
Yeah, you can see Kyle here with this operator. Oh my goodness!
Didn't even we see the round 3 op sometimes on Ascent, but damn.
Yeah, this is aggressive, and I mean we saw Kyle with the Sheriff last time around. Was just using that as the save. Crown gonna be able to find that spray down, but Haram with the Odin. Were we just sleeping when they were buying guns? Because
I swear, it's because you don't expect it round 3. It's so blasé sometimes.
Yeah, and Kyle not gonna really be able to find anything. Just trying to hold the angle for now. This is gonna be hard to get this operator out of here though, because you can see the angle. Haram is potentially holding. Shot gonna land. Kyle just gonna turn tail and get out of there. At least gets a little bit of value out of that. And yes, it is a round win for the side of CPP. But it isn't pretty. It was very close. Kyle,
I love. To be fair though, how many players have we seen do that since we've been casting CVAL?
Too many.
At least 6 or 7. Every single time.
There's too many. They've got so much pent up energy.
Hey, it's better the turret than Wingman.
Yes. Oh man. Oh no.
Oh man. Oh Neo. Oh,
this is a PG stream at the end of the day, and regardless, they're having a little bit of fun, showing the confidence at the very least, willing to
Listen, round 3, and they stole the Odin away too, I believe. Oh no, they had to just
they
rebuy
bought up that
Yeah,
Odin
oh, that's
as well,
even
so
even more
these
degenerate.
buys have just been all over the place.
I like it.
Aggressive onto site though is Mikey once again showing how confident they are in the raids. They want to take these aggressive pushes. You can push a lot further. You have a lot more mobility with the likes of a raid in this situation. But Party Kid pushing forward aggressively, trying to get it through the wall. Neo finds 2 already for themselves. And now once again this operator is put in a sticky situation where they have to try and retake with that gun. We've said so many times, it is not amazing for retake. You need them to peek into you in that situation.
Yeah, at this point, I think he's going to be waiting for Stu or maybe Juka to try to find one of these kills before he even shows his face with that operator. It's not really going to be that salvageable of a situation, especially Juka's already down to half the site. They already know it's 5 members up. It's in complete control. And theoretically, they could use the lockdown to try to steal that up if they decided to push. I would not hate the idea. I think they might be privy to that, though, so I don't even think they're going to entertain this idea. Yeah, they're going to back off the spawn. Probably the responsible financial decision.
Neo. Oh, timing.
He dodged the bullet.
Oh, Cake found Juka, though. That's something at the very least for the side of
Minus
CPP.
2,900.
Minus 2,900, as you mentioned, and yeah, this...
Now we can't buy.
This is going to be the funniest mixed eco bag of all time here, where you got an operator, you got an Odin, and then you have a classic.
Stu and Kaho are actually just flexing on the rest of the team. The last 3 rounds, Op, Odin, the rest of the guys are fighting for... Oh, okay, he's going to move it over to Juka, though. Good guy.
Yeah, and
what is this? Is such a strange...
This is a strange economy at this point.
Strange round 5.
You know, you got the operator in tow. You've got some different tools available to you, but overall, we'll have to see what they can do. Mikey once again double satchel, but it's right into the teeth of Kane and Crown here. They don't know where the Omen went either. Is finally spotted out.
Bruh.
Gets caught with the knife out as Cake finds 2 in return. Just a little bit of unawareness there, not being fully privy to that information. And now Cake with that Rolling Thunder. They're going to give a plant over to Haram here. Now,
yeah, to
once
his
again,
credit. Ooh.
The operator has to retake.
To his credit, usually once Raze dies, you're not expecting the team to come through. Oh, going for the no-scope. Gonna somehow just miss with that wallbang. Party Kid is going to take down Juka, though. And once again, you're forced back into the 4v2. They had the operator. Yeah. I don't know if they had the Odin in Stu's hand. I think it might have been in Juka's hands. Not sure if he looks able to... It looks like he's got a rather large weapon. Yeah, that's going to be the Odin in Stu's hand. The operator in the hands as well of Kaho. So I suspect this will be another save. Looking for the op shot, though. Haram is going to fall. Looking for a second exit. Cake, though, is going to go track him down. No saving allowed in this lobby, but Stu still playing backside spawn. Odin in hand. And a potentially unsuspecting victim crossing through his screen. It's Party Kid. He's going down to the headshot. 1 member left. He can find the wallbang here. He finds a couple shots, but he gets the one. He's the one that shot next. Neo headshot. Another round over to CPP.
Right there.
Yeah, just strange stuff coming through. You know, you have that operator for so many rounds, and the side of CPP just read that out, and they said, we're going to go A each and every time that this happens. And Kyle doesn't want to go over to that A site, doesn't want to off from that A site. There's a lot less angles that you can hold from that situation. So just interesting stuff at the end of that one. Mikey up on top of that box for the time being. Not sure if they can find that angle over into Cat, at least for the time being. This is an interesting angle that they're holding.
Heard the Blade Storm, too.
Yeah, Blade Storm gets popped as you saw Kao just try and jump up through that window, see if they can catch anyone lacking, but don't think they caught sight of anyone.
Yeah, Haram. It's just the Odin. Okay, if Kaho got shot in the head there, I was going to say that would be a very, very sad time, but a couple shots to the wall. You know, standard fare for the Odin and the Silver combo. Haram, this one off Dr. Fury. Still committing to the spray. I like to commit to the bit there. That's 100 bullets down. He's going to get taking a bullet of his own from Kaho's Sheriff there, it looks like. So both of these members just content to fight through the walls. Oh, Kaho's going to be careful.
Yeah, Kyle just sees where the spray pattern is going and says, hey, you know what, that Odin has the turning radius of like a tractor trailer, okay? So I'm going to be okay if I'm just jumping around it. See, just firing some shots. This is, hey, listen. The Odin's expensive. We've got the Odin at home. That's what Kyle is saying.
Off your feet!
He also doesn't have any bullets
That might be
left
Odin in the 1400s.
Oh, the big suppress coming down with that knife. Mikey trying to look for those angles. Kao, they'll try to find whatever they can from the shadows. Going to be canceled out as well. Kao finds 1 with that
Spike
Sheriff.
down, B.
And now Spike is down as well. Aftershock gonna try to clear him out. He's dashing around. He's looking for everything. Mikey gonna find it with the classic of all guns. And now the plant might be coming down, but the Odin from Haram rains down damage as Stu. Last one left alive. This is definitely winnable though, looking at those health bars. And yeah, it's challenging Mikey on a sliver of health, but Stu just trying to find whatever angles that they can in the time being.
Yeah, I think Stu...
difficult.
All right. Stu is probably just going to try to play for exits. At this point, you're going to trap these members in. Can you imagine if they just egoed the showstopper?
No way.
No, I know. I'm just playing. Stu might actually... There's a good chance he gets at least one here. Potentially... Oh my goodness. This might be so damn good, but the spray is going to come down. The Odin will claim another victim. Neo going to find Stu for the last frag of that round. And it's going to be CPP continuing their run. That is their 4th round of the game. 4th round in a row. And now we're finally going to see a bit of a reset. We are going to see the Odin peeking out once again. But the economy is in a state where I absolutely love the pick.
Yeah, and I think that with this round specifically, it's going to be SFU forced back onto what might end up being sort of a half buy or just a buy for next situation. And Kyle's really the only one who has the credits to afford anything here. You sort of lost the mojo that you had in the first couple of rounds there. We saw some great plays on the pistol, great plays on the anti-eco, but since then, CPP have shown why they picked this map. And a lot of times, as we mentioned, you have to show something different if you're playing Ascent into a team that is as experienced as SFU. You have to show that you are by far the better team on this map, either by your aim if you're playing Ditto comps, or you pick something a little bit different to bring a new flair to it. And as you can see, 4 ultimates available. That's going to be very difficult to contest with for SFU. They're going to have to try and hold some angles down, try and hold the line a little bit more. Maybe just sort of figuring out some strategies, not for this round particularly, but next round when they're going to be on more even footing.
I will say the ultimates they do have are quite nice ones to use. If they can find this this null command as well, they might be in a pretty decent state, but I don't think the buy is going to dictate that kind of try this round. Maybe if they find this first blood and they can take a second weapon, they might consider trying to make that the investment slightly heavier, but as things stand now, I suspect we're going to just see these weapons stay around. Kaho, though, looking to find the early frag, the pop flash, the dash to safety, does find a few shots there. He's going to have to back off, though. Mikey, once again, going to blast back, but goes straight up in the air and straight back down to his demise.
Yeah, Kaho has the hero rifle this round, putting a lot of threat on that. Now you can just see them just firing pot shots through. Line's coming down. Kaho's in a great position. Wow. And everyone's there. The turret picks one up as well. And now just going to be a challenging hold here. You know, Haram has the Odin. Not going to be the greatest for just one-tapping anyone. You're just hoping to kill them with the power of fire. But still, it's going to be into 3 members. This cross is so detrimental with where the spike is as well.
Yeah, this is like we like to call cooked. Haram, not really much he's going to be able to do here at this point. You hate to call for the early save because this isn't Counter-Strike, and we don't be saving on 3v1s like every single round, but it's going to be such a hard sight to take, especially like you said, having this Odin and trying to take these short-range fights is not going to be an easy time. Yeah, it's that 3-headed Cerberus. SFU, nice timing. Little gophers popping their heads up. They're going to find that 3rd round, though.
Yeah, great play coming through from them. And of course, you know, it was on a little bit of a mixed eco buy as well. I mean, Kao had the full gun there. Everyone else was sort of sitting on whatever, but now Stu's able to pick up that Odin. Crown able to pick up a gun off the ground as well. It's really only Juka and Kane who have to invest into this round. You know, the ultimate that was used, I believe Mikey used that ultimate last round, just didn't get any sort of value. It was taken down before the rocket went off. And as comes right now, they're just stacking as 5, and look at where SFU are playing. They're so aggressive. Look at where Kao is already.
I like the Sawa drone. I mean, this is about as open gets. They just have to wait for this last second to go. Mikey, there's the blast pack on, trying to take this space. He's going to maneuver his way up into hell. The rest of these members scattering around the A site, getting ready for this post plant. A lot of these SFU members stacking up toward heaven. The lockdown is going to be invested, but as the lockdown gets activated, so does the good old-fashioned hard counter. Hunter's Fury going to come online, but SFU does not even need it. They are shutting down everything. Kane and Kaho, I believe that's 4 kills between the two. Juka getting involved as well. That is an absolute masterclass from SFU.
Yeah, that's how you play those sorts of rounds. That's what you need to do. When you have your ultimates, use them as you can. And I mean, Kaho finds a great flank. It was the lockdown used as well as, I believe, the null command to make sure that the Hunter's Fury can't come through to prevent that. It was just great positioning from everyone on SFU to hold the line. The timeout ends up getting a lot of value. And now the economy flips once again. Cake going to be the only one with a rifle this round. Everyone else looking for those one-shot machines.
Look at the kills.
Yeah, the kills are a little lopsided.
Can you see who's smurfing at the moment?
Yeah, Kyle's having a great series.
I just looked and it was like, someone has a whole other column of numbers than the other one. Like, yeah, Kyle's already got 12 kills.
And it's been because of the aggression that this Jet has sort of afforded them in a lot of ways. Just being able to get in there, get dirty with it. And it's really lending itself to a lot more agency for Kao to do what they want to do. You know, this SFU team has sort of had three major players throughout. It's been Kane as sort of your experience. It's been Juka, who's able to hold down those sites as well, and Kaho, who gives you those pop-offs. And thus far, it's exactly what's happening. Kaho's having a great series. You know, it's good for 1.5 on average.
That's pretty damn good. Owl drone, paint shells, clearing out there. SFU probably gonna play retake here. Kane though, all he does is take souls. He finds the headshot on Neo, opens up this 5v4 advantage. Hunter's Fury and the Blade Storm, you know, potential tools if they decide to really want to get after it here. Spike though, planted one of those similar default spots. Looks like they're just gonna play for this 5v4 retake. Kaho decides to make it a 5v3. The sheriff shots though, he's going skeet shooting. Haram finds two. Takes Kaho down from the skies as well. A nice little flick there, but the flank from Juka, the Killjoy, so damn good on the back line. And now it's two members pinned down in Boathouse, and Stu has recovered information. They know where they are. It's all a matter of the pitch.
Yeah, you can see the Hunter's Fury being popped as well. They're going to try and use that just to zone him out. Sort of splits the defense there, makes it so that you can get your isolated 1v1s. SFU clean up that round, and momentum shifting back once again. Back and forth this map goes. We saw it on Lotus with one shift of momentum. This time around, it is going a little bit more like the Seesaw expected, especially on a map like Ascent, where it's pretty even on either side.
Yeah, I mean, look at the money for SFU too. Jeez. These boys are rolling in the dough. 6 or 7K across a few members. So once again, they're in a position where they will probably be able to buy out the rest of this game. I don't really see a world unless they start to buy 3, 4 Odins or Operators where that money is going to dwindle so low. And if you're CPP, if you drop this round, I think what's the loss bonus? 4 losses in a row?
Loss bonus maxed out.
3. Okay, so yeah, they're going to be on the loss bonus, so they should be able to have at least a coherent buy. But like you said, momentum, very, very real thing in Valorant. Just like basketball, you go on these 6-7 minute runs where you go 25 on like a 25 to 8 run, trying to get yourself back in the game. This lockdown though, this is going to be that tool for them to try to get back in. That hail grenade, nicely placed on top of the lockdown. Not going to take that one down though, and no Sova util to try to counter that as well. So lockdown will get popped. Mikey going to go take some space here. Site taken, but Kane takes down Neo.
Yeah, and Kane just sort of being a menace up mid for so long. The scan actually going to be great to sort of notify where Mikey is, but Mikey coming around the side there. Great angle, but Stu and Kao able to reply in kind.
That's sticking with that dart?
Stuck to Mikey, and now all down to Party Kid.
He was
Seems as if SFU are going to be the party poopers each and every angle, just getting cut off. SFU, that's a 4th round in a row for them now, and my goodness, they're starting to roll once again.
Stu turned Mikey into an informant for a second there, just stuck the dart on him, said, "Where's your boys at? We're coming knocking on the door. We are kicking that. We got the warrant for your guys' arrest." They take that round over, and to be fair, how often do we actually see somebody get stuck in literally took an arrow to the knee? I know the game is 12 years old, but quite literally took an arrow to the knee.
There are strats for that. Like, you can stick a Sova dart to like wingman, and then he's
you
like,
just don't see it
being
accidentally often. That for an enemy especially, like with teammates, right? Absolutely, because it's like Call of Duty. You throw a text to your buddy and say, "Yo, go dolphin dive on the site." It's the exact same mechanic. Doing it to an enemy though, just a little bit funnier, especially for SFU. You know, they're having a damn good time right now. They've got the money and they've got these rounds in tow as well.
Yeah, and obviously, as you can see, 14 kills for Kaho, still just showing up here as well. Stu having a better performance this time around as well. You can see how many threats there are on the side of SFU that you have to worry about at all times. CPP, though, they still in it. You know, this is very much even chances of it being, you know, a 6-6 half or 4 half. it's
CT
going to
sided.
be difficult. And while we can say it's defense sided, it still regresses to the mean a lot more often than usual. Not often that we see one side just absolutely dominate on a map like Ascent.
Yeah, it feels like as the meta changes for Valorant, it feels like so does like win rates and like side wins. It does feel like it's a very fluid subject at the moment, especially as, you know, weapons get changed, maps get changed, as things, you know, come and go in the game. So I definitely agree, but starting 8-4 on defense, especially the way I saw SFU attack on Lotus. I think they've got some damn good game plan, and Kaho's got some damn good flanking. Oh, the lurk pays dividends. He finds an easy two-piece. Count him up. That's 3, looking for a 4th in market. Oh, he's going to go for the re-engage, but Cake is pinned down. Kane with the pop flash. SFU with the flawless, just getting better and better as we go on.
Oh, sort of with the flawless there.
Jeez, man.
Crazy opening
That's
there. Just able to
confidence.
find 2 and then move forward.
11 rounds.
And pick up Party Kid. That's the major thing. Just turned around, was aware of where Party Kid could be, and said, hey, I got you. And you know what? Yeah, he doesn't want the vet. He's throwing it off the map. See ya.
Oh, look at this buy. Oh.
He's mine. Oh.
I will say, if CPP can somehow get one of these 3 ultimates thrown on the doorstep, winnable. If they can't, very, very tricky.
Bomb buddy out.
Of course, they're just going to have to play towards this A site, and I think that CPP have had a little bit more success towards that.
Cool. Well,
We're just going to rotate out. See ya.
we've got other ideas. A's nice and all, but, well, maybe they go through Tree. But I will say, see, SFU changing the KJ setups again. Now Tree is going to be the one that's hard to push. And that's where CPP looks like they got their eyes set on.
And granted, there is also the Odin to throw into that Killjoy microwave.
True.
There's so much you have to deal with going in through here. The Shock is going to try and clear out some util as well. It's only the alarm about that procs on the Party Kid, and at the very least, they've opened up some space onto A site. No ultimates available for the side of SFU, so they're going to have a lot of their work cut out for them, and Haram now has the option to go for some of these lineups with the Hunter's Fury.
I will say, I'm surprised Haram is not going back to play near Wine, especially considering...
Oh, wow.
If you use it right away, I guess there's no point. The flank from Party Kid. That's a headshot onto that top right to the Stinger Gaming. Apparently still relevant and strong. Lockdown now going to get invested on the defensive side of things. Haram is stuck down here in hell. Did just use that Hunter's Fury too. So Neo finding that timing, knowing the Hunter's Fury's down. Now you can pop the lockdown. It does get destroyed.
Oh my
but I'll tell you what else is getting destroyed. CPP's chances of closing out this half. Oh, it's going to be completely shut down. Neo, or Juka rather, finds a 3K. These damn Killjoys, man. 8-4 though for SFU. And like we said, just getting better and better as time goes on.
Yeah, and Neo was forced to split off there to try and shut down that lockdown. Either 3 members are getting locked down, or Neo's going to be split off from the rest of the team there. So sort of 6 of one, half dozen the other. No real good play for them at that point. The Zugzwang comes back to bite them. And now we'll see the sides swapped here. And with how SFU played that first half, I'm curious to see if CPP can regulate or sort of do the same thing, replicate it. There we go. Words are hard at this point. If they can replicate it and they can have themselves, you know, a very strong defensive side here, you know, this will be something to give a little bit more faith back into the CPP hopeful. But for the time being, I mean, 6 rounds in a row, that's a lot of momentum you're contesting with.
Yeah, I'm really looking for them to win this pistol. Honestly, I think this pistol is going to have... Obviously, it's going to have a big impact. It'll be 9-4, but I think this will have a very large impact on if this game finishes early or not, because... Well, this is very aggressive play. The Paranoia is going to be perfect, but the double spray down is going to be good enough. Kaho going to find that first one. A nice flash from Cake there, but it's that trading. It's that just, you know, that bait and switch, the aftershock, trying to get these members off that orb. I do think he got the orb, though. He is going to escape with his life there. Yeah, a little bit of damage. I mean, look at these health bars, though. A lot of these members are already chipped up for CPP.
Yeah, and for SFU, you know, a little bit dinged up as well, but in a pistol round, that's 2-3 shots.
And you got
that's really
too.
the difference between, you know, 1 or 2 shots, as we see from Cake and Party Kid. They're persistent here at the very least. They're still pushing forward, and should be able to find an angle here. Haram finds Brown, though.
Okay.
And now just turn around, get him. Why don't you pop the 180? You've heard of 90s? That's a 180 right there.
Yeah, that was nasty. Either way, SFU plant in that default spot behind Generator, and we said pistol round was going to be very, very large. This is going to be very, very tough for CPP to try to crack this. Now, I'm not sure if they still have nano swarms potentially available. I'm not sure if they're going to have any in the back pocket there, but they're going to have 3 weapons, which is all that really matters. Kaho's got the Frenzy. Low health bars on 2 of these members, so something to note. I guess the breach, though, is going to be a
Enemy
little bit
remaining.
low, too. Kaho finds the angle and a 3K for him. Now it's on Neo trying to split the difference here. It's the
no,
game of
this is
Jiggle Peaks with
bullying.
Kaho. Yeah, it's why you bully me? Kane finishes the job. 9 rounds for SFU. And the way Valorant goes, we're more than likely going to be looking at 10, but it is collegiate, so this is right about time for a Thrifty, right?
It's about time for a force, I think,
Thrifty
from the
o'clock?
side of CPP. They have to force this round
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. They risk
I think they do.
just getting snowballed on at this point. But then again,
Look at this.
do you
force
really
from
want to
this, though.
force into a
SF
Phantom coming through from Kaho who has 20 kills?
Look at, they got 3. This is a full SFU thinks that's. I think they think the full force is coming because look how much they invested. Usually you see 2 bulldogs, 1 rifle, 2 specters. This time though, they put everything they could into these weapons, expecting to win this round.
And while they may be shirking a little bit on utility for themselves, they're just willing to take these gunfights. And there's a Stinger, there's a Sheriff. You know, it's not necessarily a force coming the opposite way, but it's not going to be putting CPP's economy in a good spot. They are trying to win this round. They're trying to cheese it out. If that means that you just pick yourself up a shorty and you're hiding under the short corner, but like Mikey is, hey, you're going to do that as much as possible. SFU simply need to play as cautious as possible. I think more so than usual, because Mikey might be serving up a Kane sandwich real quick here.
Oh,
boy.
man.
They know.
They have to know, surely, but they're only going to find... He finds a jumping right click, but it doesn't find the kill. I can't believe he even lands that melee. That was absolutely nutty, but the play is going to go the way of SFU. I'm still cracking them over that one. How often do you... To be fair, though, honestly, respect. That's like literally a scene out of a movie where the protagonist runs out of bullets, chucks the gun to the side, pulls the knife out, and starts running forward. Did as much as he could there.
Basically, you know,
No,
just
listen,
trying to concuss him.
It looks
all that
great.
30
stuff.
seconds
Listen,
left.
it was a ballsy play and it actually worked. I mean, he got the melee. However, numbers game still in favor of SFU. Haram back with the Sheriff here. Again, the weapons weren't in the hottest of positions. Oh, Neo, that grenade was so good. Goodness gracious, Haram is going to find him with the Sheriff. 12 seconds left, though. He's got to try to play the stall game here. Paranoid
seconds
shock
left.
dart. Kane is going to find the plant, and again, that's going to be all she wrote for the 10th round for SFU.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't the full force that maybe we were expecting to potentially fight fire with fire, but it still was a tiny bit of an investment. That Stinger, you know, Sheriff's, I can support and all, but it's still going to force you onto something different. And now look at this. Cake going to be on a Stinger for the 2nd round in a row. This isn't going to be optimal for the side of Cal Poly Pomona here.
It was
They
4-2.
need to do anything that they can. Stu says, you know what? It worked for Mikey. Let me just keep the knife out. Just threw his classic away, nonetheless. All jokes aside, it's still going to be a really strong buy from the side of SFU. As we mentioned, those rifles are going to be going into those hands. It's going to be one Sheriff picked up on Kane, but I mean, if anyone's going to hit those headshots, I'd put my money on Kane or Kaho.
Yeah, these two have been performing from map 1 over to map 2. It is very clear to see how talented a lot of these players are. And right now, SFU, I would say slowing things down just a bit, but Kaho has already taken all of mid basically up to market. You can see now CPP. This is the sign of a team that is, you know, kind of playing not to lose right now. They don't want to give anything away. Haram, though, that is a big first entry. You take Jet off the table. Kane goes down to 58 health, gets tagged down again. So that is a very good start for CPP and one that they desperately needed.
Yeah, and of course, this is them full buying this round. They've got the rifles apart from that one Stinger that's picked up on Cake. Nonetheless, this could be scary. Nice little leg hit there from Stu. Hit him in the knee. We were talking about the arrow to the knee. That's another one, but Kane right around the corner finds the kill. Will be taken down by Cake on that Stinger, though. Stu able to reply in kind. And once again, numbers advantage going over to the side of SFU. Each and every time on these entries, they're always getting that leg up.
Yeah, and they got the plant too, which is going to be a very tricky situation. Yeah, that's going to be a Vandal shot toward heaven. It's all on Neo. Not sure you're going to be able to dodge all of these bullets, my friend. He gets tagged down to 81. Now the tricky thing is, I don't know what the money's looking like. They should be on a loss bonus. Does he just try to save this rifle at this point? Probably, right?
I think you have to at this point.
Yeah.
You risk letting the game snowball, granted.
Or maybe he just thinks they're going to be in trouble either way, and it's,
even to buy back up utility at that point. With how low his credits are, he was at 0. He's flush.
Yeah, I want to see
2,900 at least.
I want to see the overdraft on this squad now.
It's not bad.
It's serviceable, but it's, man, no armor is, that's rough.
Yeah,
This is
every bit
this
of damage is
tough.
going to stick now. Yeah, this
Let's
is
be
gonna
honest, Adam. We don't want to call games early, but once SFU gets 3 ultimates online, I don't see how CPP wins, barring some kind of crazy 3-4K.
Yeah, and I think that's what they need this round because it's 11-4. If you can find the win here, that would be massive for you. Granted, SFU are going to be in a position where they can contest in terms of the economy for at least another round here. The biggest issue is that even if CPP win this and it's a costly loss, you've now lost your loss bonus.
Yep.
And that's going to be really big come 12 because then you're going to be sitting on 1,900 credits if you go through as opposed to 2,900. That's the only reason why they can afford any rifles here is they just bought the rifle and they said, hey, utility won't matter if we lose the game.
Yeah, this is currently a 2v1 handicap match. They're playing against the clock and they're playing against SFU. It's just so difficult because, right, even like you said, if 3 members die around, even if they keep winning, that economy is going to flounder at some point. They are not going to be able to afford everything they need to win these rounds. This B-site, though, looking mighty open. Haram's going to find the first kill, the updraft, the headshot. Neo getting taken off the board. Bladestorm now in the back pocket of Caho, too. Crown trying to play back toward market here. A couple shots over there. Plant going to get started up by Stewie here. He's going to get that thing down just in front of Boathouse. Bladestorm actually is going to get popped there. So Caho wanting to make sure there are no questions about how this round ends. Knife goes flying into market right into Haram. Oh, the turn and burn. Juka for 2. Crown with the last 12 rounds for SFU. They are on match point. And I'll tell you what, man. Eye test tells me that we are looking at a 13-4 scoreline.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to be
economy.
It's
going
to have to be something crazy just coming out from CPP. But unfortunately, on their map pick, as we mentioned, you have to come out with something different, or you just have to be the better team. And they came out with something different. But
it's going to be 9. It's going to be what, 11 in a row?
Yeah,
it'll be 11 in a row if SFU wins this round. It was 4-2.
Throwback to
CPP was winning. I was here in chat if you were here when it was 4-2 CPP.
Yeah, you know what? This gives me this is reminiscent of fall specifically.
Yeah,
when we saw
actually
Alberto win 4 rounds in a row, fracture, and then just lose 11 in a row, and that's what's happened. It's been domination from the side of SFU. Granted, you can see it's going to be a little bit more even in this situation. Kane, though, going to be pushing forward, has that null command, has that second chance of light. He's just going to walk right in. He's going to keep dropping him down at the very least, though. CPP going to get another round on the board for themselves. Save face a little bit at the end here. Pick up a couple of rifles, and that's... that could be the difference maker just for them to get that round in their favor, but they're going to need a lot more help than that.
I was going to say the one good thing, because they are going to have to play some serious macro, they did pick up 2 weapons, I believe. It was 1 or 2 weapons, so nice little come up there off the dead bodies, but that economy still going to be in a precarious situation. Cake, the one silver lining for CPP, if they can kind of play stall ball and slowly wheel out these ultimates and get back into the game trying to use those, there is a path to victory. The path just happens to be covered in rocks, sticks, barbed wire, dynamite, landmines.
Neo just trying to land any shots, but they just walk right past.
Poor guy.
They say, listen, we went past the judge. We went to the Supreme Court. At that point, you don't need your local judge at that point. Kao, though, sitting underneath in hell. There's a Killjoy lockdown as dead. Kao still stunned, able to find the kill on the Mikey. Able to find another one while blind. And it all comes down to Haram. He's going to have to find something crazy, but unfortunately, he's going to be left in the dust as SFU Flamingo take the 2-0 over CPP Black to open up our CVAL Winter, or CVAL Spring. Oh my goodness. CVAL Spring tournament.
Listen, I've had a long week too. I'm, what day, what month, what year is it? All I know is SFU. That map too, that spoke volumes about that team. That was their map pick, right? Yeah?
That was CPP's map pick.
That was CPP's map. Yeah, because SFU picked Lotus first and they won. I mean, Ascent, it was 4-2 CPP. I just said it. They won 11 rounds unanswered. I don't care what kind of hot streak you're on. And to be fair, it was one of those things. They had to go offense to defense. They were flipping back and forth and to consistently win round after round. And as that game went on, you just kind of felt the life get sucked out of CPP as it was like that 10-4, 10-5 scoreline. You could just feel it wasn't really there at that point. And then SFU just kept bringing that snowball, kept rolling that sucker down the hill, and it got way too big to handle. And map 2, they just took care of business.
Yeah, and honestly, for CPP, of course, they've got that second chance at life. But SFU showing why a lot of people are predicting them to go very far in this tournament. Talking with some of the analysts in the CVAL hub and stuff, they were saying, SFU Flamingo has the chance to do damage and qualify for nationals. With 5 teams basically fighting for 2 spots and potentially some points berths thrown around in there. SFU winning this matchup is massive for them. It's putting them in such a good position. Of course, they still have to wait for their opponent in that situation. A couple of very strong teams on their side of the bracket that they may be looking down on that opposite side. But as for now, it was a great performance coming through from SFU Flamengo. The Canadian power just reigns supreme.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, SFU, a little bit of a rougher week in esports, so it's good that they got this big dub in CVAL. They had a little bit of a trip up with the League of Legends team, no credit to my school, a little bit of a homer, but good to see them come out in CVAL, get such, honestly, kind of, I would say a statement win, map 2 more so, not that CPP, and CPP, again, potentially a victim of circumstance, but when it's the 3rd, 4th time that you're losing to these higher tier teams, they might just not be that top caliber of CVAL team that we're hoping and expecting to see make that top 4 run. Yes, they do have that second chance at life, but it just shows you how competitive the West is. And I mean, right, playing UCSD, playing USC Cardinal, playing SFU Flamingo, playing perennial top 6, top 4 teams, just things unfortunately not really breaking their way and slipping away on Lotus there, losing that lead, I think kind of spelled disaster for the rest of the series. And Ascent, I mean, to be fair, though, hot start to Ascent, just they couldn't really gather and get things together. I felt like when they were winning rounds, it wasn't sustainable. It was a lot of these kind of quirky little weird skirmishes. They get first blood and things just kind of worked out after that. And then eventually SFU just showed their true colors and just took absolute control. And they're moving on.
Yeah, just the snowball ends up being a little bit much. But of course, we've got another matchup for you today as well. UCR Gold versus SDSU Black. It's going to be a battle of California once again. It will be a little bit of an extended break, though, as that game is set for 6 p.m. at PST and 9 p.m. EST. So we'll be taking a little bit of a break here. And when we're back, we'll have that second matchup of the night for you.